nature was bliss, and they all gave methods or techniques to reconnect with that core, with that bliss. Their expressions might have been different, but their message was the same. Of course, again and again people miss the Master's message because they cling on to the Master's personalities instead of their message. This is the root cause for fanaticism, religious wars, and all the other things that are happening on planet Earth. Anyhow, all these masters had the same message, that man's core is bliss. And all of man's efforts are actually in seeking this inner space, the space of bliss within him. But over time, due to social conditioning and distractions, man forgets his purpose and starts seeking this bliss in outer world things, in material things, in names, in forms, in labels given to him by society, in relationships, in careers, and whatnot. A small story. An old man went with his family to watch a movie in a theatre. The movie had just started when the man suddenly started groping about in the darkness on the floor. His granddaughter, who was sitting next to him, got annoyed and asked him what he was doing on the floor. He said, "Dear, I have lost my chewing gum. It has fallen out." The child got irritated and said, "Grandpa, it's all right. Leave it. We will buy some more chewing gum. Now watch the movie." The old man said, "I want only that chewing gum." The child said, "Grandpa, don't behave like a baby. We will get more chewing gum." The old man said, "But dear, my teeth are in it." You see, what we are really seeking is something, but we are seeking it in the name of something else. And at the end of it, we find that even after achieving all the outer world things that we seek, there is a certain void in us. There is a certain yearning in us. This yearning is because we are all actually searching for bliss, but we search for it in the name of other things. That is why we never feel fulfilled. This yearning is the call of the being. We ignore our being completely because we are so immersed in the outer world. We need to be centered in our being and perform the outer world things as just a role in a drama. Instead, we are so deeply involved in the outer world things and we are completely off-center inside. Unless we are centered, we will not experience a totality. We will not experience fulfillment. In our outer world achievements, we might be filled, but not fulfilled. And because we are not fulfilled, there remains a yearning inside. We keep thinking that we are missing something, and we start searching again in the outer world. When you are centered inside with awareness, you will have fulfillment every minute, whatever you may be doing in the outer world, because the fulfillment does not come from what you are doing outside, it comes from inside. So we need to look deep into what the masters have been saying time and again. All the so-called seekers have missed the masters life after life. They simply went on seeking without stopping to get a glimpse of the truth and energy behind the master's words. They are eternally on a journey traveling inside. This concept of traveling is like trying to pick up a book but not picking it up. Can there be anything such as trying to pick up a book? You either pick it up or not. How can you try to pick it up? When you say that you are trying to pick it up, you are cheating yourself. You can't cheat others because they know how foolish it is. It is something like this. People who don't have the capacity to make money claim that they are very honest and therefore unable to make money. Actually, they don't have the capacity. That is the truth. But they justify it with reasons. When we are unable to take a real leap into spirituality, and at the same time we are not ready to confess that we don't know anything about it, in order to keep our ego alive, we create our own philosophies and go around saying, "Short of enlightenment, I know everything about spirituality." I tell you, mere clarity on the fact that we are spiritually poor is enough to allow the transformation, the alchemy to start happening in us. Honesty and truth will lead to it automatically. But we don't want that. We use the seeker's ego as a buffer between the truth and us. Like how the car has shock absorbers to keep us from getting hurt on the road, the seeker ego keeps us away from reality. It serves as the buffer between the truth and us. In the comfort of this buffer, we happily conclude that we were all seekers all our lives. Whatever I may be telling you these few days, just listen with complete awareness and try to catch the central chord, the composite thread that runs in the whole thing. If you do that, you will create a space in you for the transformation to happen. Otherwise, you will be simply collecting words and seeking all the time. Unless a transformation happens in you, all words are useless. And transformation is possible only if you look with deep awareness. And be very clear, even if you are 1,000 people in this hall, I am talking to you. When I say you, I mean you. I have a thread running with each of you. So don't ever apply what I am saying to others. You will simply miss the whole thing. We have a general tendency. When we hear anything about our health being discussed, we will immediately apply it to ourselves and see where we stand. We will see whether we have any symptoms of what is being discussed. If I talk about the skin, you will feel your skin and see. If I talk about the heart, then you will feel your heart beat and see. But when we hear anything about spirituality, somehow we always apply it to others, our family, our friends, our neighbors, never to ourselves. The problem is, whatever I say, you think, I know myself well, this message is for my husband. Swamiji is saying this so that my husband can change his ways. I hope he has got the message from Swamiji. When I talk about worries, you will immediately think of how much your mother worries. You forget how much you worry. I am telling you because you also worry. Probably your mother worries more than you, but that is not the point. Understand that every word is for you. It will come like an arrow, bringing with it the energy. Don't dodge it. Just allow it to go in and transform you. So don't keep looking at other people to see if they are showing signs of understanding. If you do this, you will miss it for yourself. If you really know about yourself, you will not have any worries or discontentment or pain or fear or lust or jealousy or ego. But you have all of this in you. That itself shows that you don't know everything about yourself. First of all, know that you don't know. Then, at least you know that you don't know. If you don't even know that you don't know, then you don't even know that you don't know. Yes? But Swamiji, we are traveling towards knowing ourselves. So at this point we may know partly. Let me tell you one thing. In a deep spiritual experience, there will be no traveling. It is